DMO Online Television rates this program as TVMA. It is intended to be viewed by mature adult audiences, and may be unsuitable for children under 17 as it might contain strong political themes, gestures, and body actions.
Ssematimba.
Yes.
Zoyogerako.
No, it has no use.
Allegations of Ssematimba.
Allegations when the man has confirmed. You used to say that Ssematimba is a home. Now you are saying Ssematimba. Let women know. Let the women know from today that what men want from them does not go to school. Abasajja kye babaagalako tekisoma. Tekigenda ku ssomero. And your house girl is not is a status. Sibulangira na bumbejja. What men want is a woman who can produce. Mfunda n'omubi ng'azaala ng'alima ng'ayaniriza n'abagenyi. Segomba abeeyita abeepeyi nemange nga tabuzeemu mfunda n'omubi ng'azaala ng'anyumya ng'ayaniriza n'abagenyi. N'abasajja nabo bakitegeere nti what women want, the organ, the sexual organ, it does not go to school, it does not have status. Yes. So temutuwepankirako. Omwana yabasunziza esumika abakazi bonna mukitegeero olwaleero abasajja kye babaagalako tekisoma, tekyogera Luzungu, tekyogera Luswayiri, tekyogera Lulatini. Tewali gye basomesa luyimba lwa ggwanga. Kati akaakaana kaasala amagezi gaako ne kamwezinga katte kamukubye ekigo ke kazadde. Waliwo n'abanene ennyo abazadde mu bantu abali gundi abawansi kasaweerowooza fete abasajja tebanoonya diguli izo. Waliwo omukazi polofeesa bw'aba yeebase mu buliri ajja n'ebyambalo bye bya polofeesa. Kakati ono omukazi genero gundi ono ayogerera amagye ayingira ne yunifoomu y'amagye mu buliri.
Mbalamusizzaako mwena gye musinzira okubanga mulaba TM Online Television. Mbeebaza obuwagizi bwe muwadde mutabani wa Mmole n'amatovu mirundi Joseph Tamale emirundi senior. Yenze kanka kapita nze mutesitesi wa TM Online Television era nga nze ntuddeyo kutuusaako ekitundu kyaffe kino ekirala ekya political doors. Bana business mwenna mukimanyi bulungi nti business zammwe zitudde abamu mwagenda okutuuka ku mali yammwe ng'emali yammwe bagigalidde. Kakati mukyuse mu nkola ya business mukolere ku mutimba oguliwo, ku mutimbagano ate naddala ku mutindo ogukwasaganye n'embeera eriwo. Ssematimba Cargo and Logistics Company Limited ye company erina office e Gwanzu Bayun District gesobola okujjira ekintu kyonna kyoyagadde China. Kati ng'otudde awo in the comfort of your house enjoying the total lockdown, tosobola okutuma aba Ssematimba Cargo and Logistics ebaguliza ekintu e China ate bakikuleetera ewaka. Ne wano mu Uganda balina office newankubadde ebizimbe byaggaddwa, wali ku Total Business Center office yaggaddwa naye store nzigule, basobola okutuusaako ekintu kyonna kyoyagala okubanga ogula. Bakubireko aba Ssematimba Cargo and Logistics basobola okuleetera ekintu nga bakiyisa wansi ku mmeeri, bakikuleetera ku ttaka saako ne mu nnyonyi. Kitwala akaseera katono mu nnyonyi naku 2 ate wali ku gundi ku kago ku mmeeri kitwala ennaku wakati we 3 ku 5 saako nga bakusasulidde n'omusolo. Ssematimba Cargo and Logistics ye kampuni yokka eyogera amazima ku bbeeyi y'ebintu ebigula China ate yeekuleetera ekintu n'ekituusa wooli ku muwendo ogusembayo okubeera omutono. Kale nno mwenna muli eyo abasinga mwazze ku site zammwe muzimba kuba mufunyemu obudde obuddukako mu office. Kaakati mu Uganda mulimu omuzimbi omugo osobola okwesiga nti wajja kuzimba ekizimbe kyo nga tabbye material nga ate tataddemu seminti mutono. Omuzimbi ono ye wa Stone Roofing and Construction Company. Ono nno omusikawutu eyava mu family emanyiddwa yankooyo oyo. Omusikawutu gwe mmanyi atabba material ng'akuzimbira ekintu ekiri ku mutembera ogw'ensi yonna yenkooyo oyo Elisa Kiwana gw'olabaawo. Mukubireko ne company ya Stone Roofing and Construction Company bakumaliriza ekizimba to basobola n'okikulagako nga tekinnaggwa. Balinayo n'akalala nti bw'ogulawo fayiro nabo basobola okuwa ebyetaagisa byonna ne bakulaga ne ku kizimbe kyo bwe kinaabeera in 3D nga tekinnaba na kubaawo n'okupulaningira ettaka n'okunoonyereza ku ttaka lyewagula oba tuufu oleme kutandika kuzimba ng'ozimba ku ttaka lyewagula empewo. Stone Roofing and Construction Company n'enkooyooyo Elisa Kiwana mumwesige muwe emirimu gy'obuzimbi kuba nange gwe nkozesa. Kangende butereevu mu political dose y'olunaku olwaleero tubeere nga tutandika ne mutabani wa Mole n'amatovu mirundi.
We must talk issues that help to solve a situation. COVID-19 should be the topic. Yes. All of those things they are talking about, Kabondo ka Buganda, those are usually things diversionary. What does the parliament, what does the tribe do in the parliament? Can we have a law that targets the tribe? Because we have already catered for. We have the movement caucus, where Baganda are represented, where Banyankola are represented, and we have the opposition. But because people want to make themselves important, they go on to say, and for Baganda, I laugh at the people like Mwanga, who are intellectuals. Why? When Museveni wants to talk to Mengo, he doesn't involve the Buganda caucus. When there is a bill in the parliament, Mengo summons them as if they are children. So therefore, I think
but it is equally important to have a Kabondako.
How? Because you see,
Baganda have the biggest population.
Anti-Chenkubulira tikiriyo. But about so much social development, we start in a family, we move to a tribe, we move to a nation, and we move to a nation state. A nation state where we are. We have a national parliament, we have a government, we have a country. So these issues, once you have a parliament, all of these issues become irrelevant katika nkubuli. Menge ina koti bajite ya Kisekwa. How many people take cases to Kisekwa?
Koti za Kisekwa zizina okutula mu emisango.
Nebo wabanga mu nkuuka. Obanga liyo emikolo emmengo mubiri. Pickpocketers, babatwala kibuye ku police. Yes, these are, in fact, if I had powers in this country, at a time when we are discussing serious 19, I would arrest all of these fools. Leaders are needed in the village to mobilize the people for other people. And this is what you talk about Kirani matters.
I see.
If Buganda caucus is very important, how comes that in the new cabinet we have not fared well? Were they consulted?
Ndoza chebava bakateekawo
tibaliyo basiru diversionary basoka nsiti banyankole kweterana banyankole cooperative gondi. That's how UPC split. UPC split because it divided itself. Jijayiganga kamuli jiki. UPC syndicate, UPC science for educated people, UPC Enkomba. Enkomba is toughness. Enkomba, the bitter one, and UPC Enfungulo, diluted. Did you see Northern Uganda turning itself into a UPC something? Mwanga started the UPC Uganda. Those are the but akakwata bukasiba Mwanga beba numbers abanonyo obukulu era ino kubaka akamujja kubanne stupidity. Kakali kyenkubuuza, when we are having problems in Uganda of a total lockdown, walebyeyo gundi oyo lulume yali dokita
bayiga
n'ayogera mbu yasanze akabenje naye nga talina na gloves mbu twakutte kapeera okuzaalisa omukazi. How can a medical doctor move without bandages? Nga yalowooza lulume mbu is attacking Museveni. No, you are exposing yourself as a fool. Twaligambye n'okugamba ti emmotoka eyatomeddwa mulimu eyefiiriddemu naye bwe tukyekinze emmotoka tusanzemu bandages. The dead is a medical doctor. Kakati emitwe gyabwe egyo egitayiiya tuli ku nsonga nkulu ya COVID-19. You are talking about Kiranism. Yeah, you don't believe in this too.
Oba Museveni okubasuula
kakati ne Museveni yatukoledde ekintu nti The president said he's a hostage. If Museveni is a hostage, then I cannot attack Museveni because I already said he's a hostage. What we have to do is to create a counter team to those who are holding Museveni as a hostage.
Can Museveni be held hostage?
And this is what he says. So for me, I'm attacking the committee. The Museveni committee, Museveni has already disappeared like a gonorrhea. Before even commencing her work, Museveni has disappeared like a gonorrhea. Why?
Serious.
So for me, I always give solutions. We call it a situation evaluation. After evaluating the situation, what do we need now? President Museveni talks about Olw'Embeera assignments. Olw'Embeera, our assignments, what are our responsibility? What are our responsibility? Government has failed to fulfill its responsibility. Because COVID, as I have always pointed out, goes through 3 phases. Currently, we have started the second phase. But because we do not plan for the second phase, we are having problems. Now what we do, let us plan at least for the third phase. Because COVID goes through 3 phases.
Can we plan for a third when we are failing on the second?
Kakati, what do we do? One, government is first failed to plan for 2 issues. One, in the first time, people talked about relief. Emmere bagiba bagiteekamu ettaka n'amatate gajja. That's one.
Amatale batugamba baali tagali expire.
Total lockdown. Ne tukkiriza. Abantu bakkiriza bwayongeza. 3, abantu bakkiriza. Why? They were watching television and the international media. Today, the government cannot take advantage of the international media because many people who used to die in those countries have put themselves in order. They prepared, they were attacked, babalumbanga tebategedde, they survived an ambush, they have now reorganized. This is why many people are not dying in Europe and America. And when you see people dying,
of course, some of them are returning to stadiums now.
Yes,
football.
Kubanga bo bategeera cause weva. Nti this COVID was believed to be a Chinese problem. Baali banigiretize hospitals. Kati abantu bagendayo omulundi gumu. What these people have done, train more doctors, make sure, in fact, they depopulated hospitals. Many people abafuna COVID babaganda okujja mu malwaliro. This is why the Prime Minister of Britain had to be kept in his home. He only went to a hospital to give confidence in British hospitals.
I see.
Kakati fate kye tukoze buli muntu tumutwala wa
mu ddwaliro.
Kakati bano kye bakoze nti why didn't we have what exposes the government teyina kye yakola? There is no oxygen. Does oxygen mean is the oxygen a responsibility of me? Because even if I observe 100% all of these precautions, they are not 100%.
Of course.
Therefore, it was government responsibility to be Museveni in government here. Kwali okuteeka oxygen kubanga akawuka twali tukayiseemu. You ask any soldier. Once a soldier survives an ambush, then he organizes himself to fight the attackers.
I see.
Kakati bwe twayita mu luli, the surviving ambush, didn't they know? Kubanga oxygen wasn't a problem. I didn't see anybody complaining about oxygen.
But maybe by the time waliwo obwetaavu bwa oxygen.
Tebakitegeera kubanga we are not the pioneers. Si ffe batembuzi.
Of course.
We are not batembuzi. The Europeans were batembuzi. The Chinese were batembuzi.
Twalina
obbalabirako. Yes. Kakati, what did we learn from the batembuzi?
Mzee, waliwo ne gwe baagamba nti bamuwa billions aleete ebyuma ebyo ebisizibwamu ng'omu ku banene ba family ebitajja. And
for me, it does not matter to me. Kubanga abaaliwo mu kiseera ekyo baakola ki? Ye bwakugamba, if this person who was given a tender to supply oxygen did not do it, who raised this issue at that time? What was the source of the money? Because money came from where? How can you win a tender? That's rubbish. They should not talk about useless things at a time when people are dying. How come that private hospitals have oxygen. And they are charging exorbitant bills, 5 million per day. It means the government people, because these hospitals belong to the same people who are in government.
I see.
Era bo balowooza tolokuba amalwaliro gaabwe kakati gavumenti ejjo basasulira katonda atuyambye tali azaamanyo nabo bafudde nabo be batwalayo bafudde abanaku tebafudde nga bagagga abadde balowooza nti bo bajja kukozesa gavumenti resources be basinze n'okufa
bo malwaliro gaabwe oxygen gyali bali balinda gavumenti basasulire bili
bagana okuleeta oxygen abantu baddukire ewaabwe katonda bakubye balayi mukyenya katonda bakubye balayi n'amalwaliro gaabwe gayinza okukwata omuliro. Yes, you cannot be leaders. A leader cannot be like this. You cannot make a business on death. Are you a coffin maker? So that is very important. Nti nabo
nze bali abali emayoga agenda kuona na video balinga abali kubanga kubala oba kuki nze kakati nabo abalowooza nti bagezi nnyo manyi nze mbagamba temusobola okubeera ku mukolo bembeera ku mukolo ne babagamba nti meeting embaga eno yakumala essaawa 2 wano kati bakye bakola ne bakuweka omwenge tebagowa bannaabwe ssaawa 2 weziggwako ne baga nti mufulumye ecupa naawe yagukwezi notagowa banno kakati as we stand now those people who thought that by stockpiling oxygen they were safe, they are dying in large numbers. I see.
Kakati oxygen, we need oxygen. This is not the responsibility of a man like me. We need to reduce, depopulate hospitals by doing what? Decentralize. Yes, instead of bringing people to Mulago, make several Mulagos. Mulago should be a referral hospital. You put oxygen and the doctors in the districts.
But I thought NRM had done that.
Yes,
they put in health centers.
Why should we have funeral companies that drive all their way to Rakai instead of people dying in Rakai? So we must depopulate hospitals.
Yes.
Depopulate hospitals, let the people learn how to treat themselves at home.
Maybe the facilities are not there. But
in Britain, what they did, when they reached the level where we have reached, kakati waliwo n'abaproposing mbu bagule ebisaawe bagule eki bo bennyini ng'abantu mubateekeyo abantu. No, kakati what you do too, let Museveni allow every capable person or institution to bring drugs. Even quality chemicals can help us.
I see.
Quality chemicals can produce. They have the formula because they are producing a lot of drugs. They can produce the drugs under license from somewhere. So I don't believe in this money because we have got examples. You remember when Mbabazi was Secretary General, Museveni sent money to delegates through the same method of mobile money. The money stuck on the they did not get it, and Museveni had to go back, collect money, and give it to the delegates directly. The other money was not recovered. Museveni directed Mbabazi's daughter to produce a yellow book. There was no yellow book. There was no yellow book. She demanded 6 billion, a daughter of a Secretary General. Then what happened? In the recent campaign, Lumumba used the same system to send the money through accounts directed to the campaigners. She was almost killed. Ekitegeeza era bano bajja kwagala. They are floating an idea of having an agency. Some people will say, my man didn't come. The system is floating. Kuba baagala kireme.
I see.
Kakati Museveni atuyambe tawa muntu yenna ssente abantu bajja kuyimirirawo mu nnaku 42. Let Museveni solve olubimbi lwa government in 42 days Two, we must have a permanent monitoring team, the COVID monitoring team, like the weather forecast. Tuleme kugwa obugwinga fire brigade.
I see.
Yes, ebeerewo under Lusoke. The M.I.S.O should take over. Fortunately, nabagambye nti kati mutunuulire akakiiko ka National Task Force under Katongole raised the funds. They negotiated with Toyota and bought 200 vehicles, but they are not mentioned anywhere. Kati ono mukazi abadde ayagala zitwala mu Senero. We have 200 vehicles, which means Museveni can retain the Katongole committee, reinforce it with the people like Ham, but for the center of companies, MTN. This is the time to pay back. If National Social Security Fund has decided to give people money, where is MTN? Where is Serotel? The company that are exploiting Ugandans. This is the time to come back because these people, the media does not highlight the Katongole committee. No.
And I'm actually wondering, where is the Katongole committee?
The Katongole committee raised the money and
the one that was raising money from people.
They negotiated with the Toyota.
Where did they put the money that was earlier raised?
But it's the Toyota buying a motor that's the present number about this, that we have 200 vehicles. That these people collected the money and negotiated with the Toyota. Have you seen it anywhere in the Ugandan media?
No.
Kakati ekyokusatu.
It's only you talking about it.
Yes, ekyokusatu. Since as we allow in the 42 days, we allow government to settle itself out of its mess, to do its Luvimbi. Let us take our Luvimbi. Let each Ugandan travel with this sanitizer. I've seen policemen. Policemen read the documents from other districts and other offices.
What type of sanitizer is that?
You know, Conavir. This was the formula was made by an American doctor, Professor Nazir. Is a black professor. He worked with the Magola. The one they are saying that Magola was a con man. This is the man we have a Ugandan called Chakulaga, Hassan Chakulaga is in America. He is an expert in viruses. And with the help of Dr. Professor Nazir, they are constructing a complex to produce another drug factory, to produce drugs mainly for American market. But it's only the president who has visited and toured this complex because
is it here?
The ministers only are interested in buying drugs. Era nze ndi musanyufu nnyo kwasitamu 7 years goba lukwago namuza mu education naleeta Diana namuteeka mu education ejjoko libaweddemu obusuma bubaweddemu okubbanga buli wamu. Yes, ate nze lukwago munenya teyalikoze nabo oteeka otya mu education I just go.
I see.
Kakati lukwago bamugoba mu heresi babbe because they looked at heresi as an area bakajiji buno busajja obufere obubbi kakati bu benefits. I've been comparing COVID-19 as akalolo kajja kujja enkoko ku magi if not properly handled. Akalolo kano kalolo let them steal money from
kujigoba ku magi.
Akalolo kawanika enkoko mu bbanga akalolo kawanika seguko akalolo kaita kakusanya. Any government that believes that it can tackle COVID-19 using medics only is making a mistake. COVID-19 is not only, in fact, the Chinese defeated it without drugs. COVID-19 is a political problem. It's more a political problem because it touches on the welfare of the people, including where
puts leaders to a test.
In fact, where Museveni has scored is to allow retail shops to operate. I'm telling you.
But we are seeing policemen kicking people out of their shops.
Let one policeman kill one person. We
are seing them saying they are enforcing the presidential directives by forcing people out of the retail shop.
That is final. That when I see policemen touching people, arresting them barefooted, hand without even gloves. They read documents without sanitizers. Some don't have even masks. So therefore, what I'm telling you is that this company should sell more. And you see, in many cases, security people and civil servants are not used to buying for themselves. It will not be a bad idea, but the money will be stolen by their bosses in the police. Or every policeman would move with this. After reading a document, sanitize. After reading a newspaper, sanitize. Then the president should also come in and tell the public, because the public was observing COVID-19 SPOs, to ensure that Museveni does not declare a total lockdown.
Of course.
Now people in their homes they don't see the reason why they should put on masks. And you see Africans. Tusanyisa okulaba whoever comes tusanyisa okulaba. Except a tough man like me. Me, I don't welcome visitors. For what? But Africans welcome visitors because they are at the tribal level. Nti omuntu bw'afiirwa, all of them go there. I lost my brother. They have not seen me. I have not mixed with the mourners. He's dead, he's dead. And I strongly suspect that in Uganda, why is it that the elites are dying in large numbers? In Kenya, the medical practitioners were dying. Why is it that in a country where medical practitioners have not been protected, they are not dying in large numbers? Why is it concentrating on the elite? The elites are targeted. We could be having people who are deliberately carrying out the spreading of the disease. They are not. They are already affected or isolated. I give an example of jiggers. That the jiggers were brought here by Indians to sell soft pennies.
Are you serious?
Yes. The Indians used the arsonists to burn houses, and after getting your house, because the Africans were comfortable in their grass-thatched houses, it ensured it was against a heat. It is always, that's why n'amawoteri essubi libeerayo balina akantu ke bakola ak'essubi. Yes, because the subi is cooler. Essubi protects people. You cannot encroach on other people's wives because you will burn. And we have a minya called lizards. If anybody killed the munya, and that's why the Baganda used to sing. Munya munya mpawe chebagulanga munya gwerira munyale. If you burn a house and you kill a lizard, a munya, an innocent munya which is not a snake, then you pay.
I see.
So because of this, Africans were kept. It was not easy to get them out of their grass-thatched houses to embrace iron sheets. So the Indians got a group of drama actors who moved around Uganda to burn houses. After burning your house, then you would go to the Muyindi and ask a loan for iron sheets. And you would pay back by coffee.
I see.
Yes. So I'm seeing the same, the capitalists doing the same example. Finally, I have been hearing somebody who claims that these voices are fake. Even the voices are fake. Why do you come out to explain? I'm not the one. I'm going to do what? Who has mentioned you? Who?
If you're not the one.
You see, I laugh at these younger people. They end up implicating themselves. There was a man, a neighbor, suspected, got information that his wife was having an extramarital affair with a neighbor. What the neighbor did, the owner of the house did, the wife did, he organized a fake party, invited all of the villagers, including the suspect. So when time came of speeches, the man picked a panga and said, before any activity can proceed, I want to warn somebody who is having an extramarital affair with my wife to get out. The man told his wife, oh, let me get out. That man, I've heard about those reports. In our In our recordings, we don't mention names.
Of course.
What is irritating this man to come out to say that he is not the one? What is irritating him? Me, I'm not going to.
If they are not the one, if
he wanted me to say, Mulenzi gwe ani agambye nti yegwe gwe genda mwezo radio zokanga agende mwezo radio zakanga banadini bakanga era nagenda okugenda yunga abeerayo nze tajja kunkangako sinnakola ko kintu kimu tajja kutukanga n'ejjoogo lyeryo lyalina eri mujogesa abantu. What is itching you? What is itching everybody? Why are you the only one who is saying that I'm not the one? Who told you that you are the one? I will continue playing these tapes. Era kati kogenda okuteekako ka mu Pakistan, Mulan is already arrested, was arrested in Pakistan. I will not entertain any stupidity for anybody who claims that this is his voice. Why are you coming alone? What is itching you? Mulenzi gwe mulenzi gwe kyeki kuyichinga genda bitise kisabu botisa tisa. I'm not the one. Sijja kukiddamu nyuza ne radio givaako. Let them try to play eyo radio nkangivaako n'obusirusiru bwabwe n'obujozijozi bwabwe nyuza butagiddako. We shall continue playing these recordings.
Of course.
What is itching you? Why do you believe like this man who went to the neighbor's party's man and the man claimed among those who have invited there is one man who has a marital affair with my wife. Lwaki abalati baavaawo?
Lwaki ye yavaawo?
Kapuleying nina 10 nina obuntu obwenkumi yesu nja kukuba. How long are you going to continue denying that me mbwaje mu program akube mutwale ejogole genda kujosi bobutwale eri genda okanga bobokanga nyiza nobutaddayo ku radio. Let them tell me to pressurize me. Sijja kujiddako obujosi bombu kumalemu. For those people at that radio station try to do anything, I close it.
I see.
I close it. Do I get money from them? Nobody can say who has claimed that this is our voice. But the tape we are going to play belongs to Mulan. Mulan is a Pakistan who was buying organs here. He was arrested in Karachi, sentenced to 7 years, fined $5 million. And early this month, July, 115 Ugandans, including 62 surgeons, are going to board the planes. Chairman wabwe Lolite wakakuba wakubye kani na chairman akantina bagging enyumba hii. Who has come to claim that he is the chairman? Why is this man not coming out to call him? Joge kujogesa abantu mulenzi gwe genda ojogabo njagala okube essimu yange mbu njagala nkube mu program yo genda okube mu yiyo njagala bandagire nti ogikubemu nanyi ndi bomuna labanjizeeko ejogo lyabwe nja kuliba malamu twinza kunerega teri ina radio ba TV eja kuneregamu. I'm more popular than their radio stations.
I see.
Tekiriyo
mpulira njagala buze tumalize ne ku nsonga ene ya Ssematimba.
Yes.
Ojogerako.
No, it has no you see.
Allegations of Ssematimba.
Allegations when the man has confirmed. You used to say that Ssematimba is a homo. Now you are saying Ssematimba.
Wamma twawulirako parallel stories.
Let women know. Let the women know from today that what men want from them does not go to school. Abasajja kye babaagalako tekisoma. Tekigenda ku ssomero. And your house girl is not is a status. Sibulangira na bumbejja. You can graduate from house girl to housewife.
Yes.
You are all women. You have the same organs. We have seen celebrated. Why did Gazebwe's marriage fail? If the question is status.
I don't know.
How many marriages have failed? Yes. I know men who has failed for try no musajja nga bamuyita Kakonge. Kakonge was a minister in the British government, very powerful minister. He fell for a Runyegagalo dancer.
I see.
Idi Amin married a dancer Medina. So what matters is not education. What men want is a woman who can produce. Mfunda no moving Azalanga Lima nga yaniriza n'abagenyi segomba abeeyita abepeyi nemange nga tabuzeemu munda n'omubi ng'azaala ng'anyumya nga yaniriza n'abagenyi n'abasajja nabo bakitegeere nti what women want the organ the sex organ it does not go to school it does not have status as long as it can power the sperms that can make a woman to produce that. Look what Namaganda married a Rageki carrier.
Of course.
The only thing that it ended badly, but she had the man had produced with Namaganda. The king is married princess.
No.
Yes, they go for a copy.
I see.
Yes.
So there is no problem.
What is important is not, you see, we have even have religious leaders. But what is important to me is that you cannot blackmail Ssematimba. The women who wanted to marry Ssematimba are now bitter. Ti omwana yabakubye eggaali. Kawula kabakubye eggaali. Ate Ssematimba took responsibility. Ate Ssematimba toyina womukwatira kati. Why? Kuba lwaki Ssematimba toyina womukwatira? Nti Ssematimba toyina womukwatira.
Ayibuze waliwo etteeka lino lye baaleeta. Bw'oba oli yali mukozi wo n'omukozesa okukwata waliwo n'ebibonerezo byateekawo ebikakali.
Tekiri ebyo bya busiru. Matembe wanted to force out to embarrass Otafire. Otafire yavuma Matembe n'amuteeka wali. Yes. Why should you ask, you women ask? You see the problem those women have. Why is it that the musicians end up marrying not their equals? Look at Ssematimba, a judge. Sebutinde. Where does Sebutinde work?
The
husband, where does he work? Is he a professor?
No.
He's only Makeri who is married to a professor. Margaret, such as husband, was a businessman.
I see.
Yes.
So
temutuwepankirako omwana yabasonziza esumika abakazi bonna mukitegeero olwaleero abasajja kye babaagalako tekisoma tekyogera luzungu tekyogera luswahili tekyogera lulatini tewali gye basomesa luyimba lwa ggwanga kati akaakaana kaasala amagezi gaako ne kamwezinga katte kamukubya ekigo ke kazadde waliwo n'abanene ennyo abazadde mu bantu abali gundi abawansi kasaweerowooza fete abasajja tebanoonya dikuliizo waliwo omukazi profesa bw'aba yeebase mu buliri ajja n'ebyambalo bye bya profesa kakati ono omukazi genero gundi ono yogerera amagye ayingira n'uniformu y'amagye mu buliri lwaki ono omuwala yatta gundi jeno kazini dulalu yagenda okulaba nga si jeno mu buliri nga bw'aba amuwa ebitiibwa lansikopolo n'amubetenta omutwe. Yes.
So mwezo issues olita naye ani creating emitwe gino hausigala as if is not
a nti they want to embarrass. We want to embarrass. Maybe he's being floated for a job.
I see.
But Ssematimba cannot be. Because he's no longer a politician, he's no longer a politician, he's not looking for who. But me, I salute Ssematimba for two things. Unlike other men who deny, I assume Ssematimba is not denying. Ssematimba wants custody of the baby.
Here even it started with taking this drug.
Ssematimba has proved you wrong. Those people who saw that Ssematimba was a homo, Ssematimba has proved you he's not a homo.
They used to say that he's a gay.
He's a gay. Kakati abamazi. Azala. In fact, mwali badde muga nti yo mwana we.
Abagamba nti no, he's a gay.
Yes.
But there are even gays who are not dead.
Those are fools. Mirundi mulalu. Ate no muomulimo. Kandi mulalu bya na advisor of the president.
I see.
Akasajja kakokede kakati. Ako akasajja kayiganyanga banne wako. Ako kakabusenga kagenda kola TV. Njajje batula. Tujja kujibatula jja kubula abajiraba. Kasajja kayina kudda sironko kebake. N'omutima gwako omubi. Paka ne kulubya naye olugongo gongolo olumukubya abantu. Lwanadde ewaabwe. Kakati ekyo toyina kyogende kikati nga nze ngoje. Nze ne bonga nti it is rape and defilement that is abominable.
I see.
But if
you had an agreement.
Nti chichi? Nti ani?
Muzei.
The king is married.
Mzee chikuswaza nti mzee mirundi ayino mwana mukozi
mukozi a woman is a woman.
I see.
A woman is a full woman.
I see.
If you people, that's the problem you have. Omukazi yesupinze too low. Nakwana house girl. No. Sexy desires. Otherwise, kings would be marrying Abambeja. In Japan, once a princess marries, becomes a commoner. Because they cannot marry her brothers.
Of course.
Yes.
You're not marrying from your own.
The queen married a German. Hey. Mubasajja be mwali mubuliddwamu ayina embavu bajjeno. No, love things the people what we want from women does not go to school.
Does not have a qualification.
Does not have a qualification.
Not even if status.
What women want from men does not have qualifications, does not have degrees and the only applications. What we should fight is the defilement and the rape.
I see.
But once
if there was an allegation of rape and so we would be discussing it.
Let me tell you, in Europe, many artists and musicians end up in a bed and marrying their bodyguards. Because a woman wants muscular people like a golola. So they start as a boyfriend, they start as bodyguards and they end up in a bed. Living out of all of these the
so-called celebrities.
The celebrities you admire. People you admire end up with these bar girls, hotel girls, prostitutes. What if it was a prostitute? And in many cases, do you know why? These days men resort to those well-educated girls is because they know that high-class women are demanding.
Yes.
Yes, they're demanding.
They have a class of life.
When you propose to her to get married, before she gets pregnant, she wants an account for the baby that is not yet born.
For the pregnancy.
Yes, the charge and insurance.
Imagine.
Yes, that's why they end up. And when you study men fear sophisticated women.
Yes.
Babatya sobola buno buyimbi babuzanyira bube babudde ne bugenda na bwerokinga ne bwefula bwa kitala. Yes. Yes.
Polira.
Lema ya ania muwasa.
Musawo.
Amaza. Wale wazanti
anayagala baserebu. Wali rozanti yali ne
babatya.
Polira.
Babatya chobola bona ayenda kuono nadda ye erina akola ki. Abakazi bakitegeere. The more you sophisticate yourself, men fear, men of substance fear you too. When people like Gundi, Abalina status Yaman, end up with their house girls who cannot be because he fears to bring a woman. Do you know how homosexual started? Homosexual was brought by the Jews who did not want to produce kids from non-Jews. Two, homosexuality was started by people who have money, who realized that women were gold diggers. A woman marries you just targeting your assets.
I see.
So these people say, after all, does it mean that every time you engage with your wife in sex, you produce a baby? Yes. So we men, billionaires, end up separating. Why? Women target men, especially in old age. When she's no longer interested in sex, she's no longer interested in producing children. This is when she picks sex chooses to separate and take away the. And why? You see, the president raised the fundamental issue that if you say that when a couple separates, we share wealth, our wealth. How can you convince Kalamajongo that the separated woman should also benefit from his cows? When he wrestled them, did this woman accompany the man? While
wrestling.
He wrestling. So these people like Matembe, women like Matembe, what I call the Chakura Sajas, who dominate the airwaves, have scared men.
I see.
And the problem is that these days we are okay. While we're chibinda kapachita, echabakazi. Nga waliyaga wala agatalina basajja gali awo gemyusa byemusa tegalina basajja bayita fida. Yes. Until women realized that fida was for women who never married, who are not frustrated. You see, when a woman is frustrated, she does not enjoy sex.
I see.
Yeah? She becomes disappointed. She becomes envious comfortable married people kati fida yagwa bakazi bagiddukamu kakati olina okukitegeera
eddanga abasajja batya fida
fida anti fida yatta obufumbo nebumalawo naye nga baabaliyo sibafumbirwa. Most of these people, the doctor, the president of the Royal Society, those are not married women.
I see.
Men, whatever they talk scares good men, and they end up with the well-educated people.
But we should have such organizations to look into some issues.
No, marriage,
battering women, and
marriage can be handled by our tradition. For instance, me, I don't batter my wives. A woman, my wife can slap me. Yes, they can slap me. I'm not fearing you, I'm not fearing you. But I fear my children.
I see.
How can my children sit there and discuss over what? I cannot embarrass my wife before her children or before her grandchildren.
I see.
I don't fear the law. I don't fear. But to embarrass an old woman, why don't we separate? If we have reached
such an extent, you would better separate.
And this is why I learned it from my village, and I wrote it in one of my books, that because of fear of embarrassment, battered women used to die. Why? They could not access medical treatment for fear of their husband to be arrested by the police. This is the situation you are building, that a person who has injured his kid in the process of disciplining that kid fears to take the kid to hospital, to a clinic, because the
kid will eventually die.
Yes, they will call the police, and because of fear, a parent can even kill his, or they are kept indoors without proper treatment, and they die. Excitement. No, I don't believe in excitement.
It is Museveni who brought those rights. Is your boss who brought those rights? See, women's rights, see, social's rights, see,
every level.
Kids' rights.
And your government, yakitegeera nti tuyina kye tuyita the first generation of rights. Yeteekamu ebyo bakazi, gender, ani nebateekamu. But when it comes to fundamental issues, tebikolako. Kati mumbeera tekeni abakazi twava mu fumbiro. Abakazi, did you become men? When a woman puts on a kanzu, does she become a man?
No.
Yes. Twava Museveni yatujja mu fumbiro n'atukola kakati, what do you do? Olunaku lw'abakyala abasajja bafumbe. I don't need olunaku lw'abakyala to cook if I want to cook. That is an excitement. That is ignorance. Kati kwajja okufumba. Kakati kwere mu sex gwajja okudda waggulu. That's stupidity. That's stupidity. They excite these ordinary women. If I want to cook food,
in an ordinary day.
Yes, do it. So it doesn't mean that because there is a women's day. No. Okay. That I must remember my responsibility as a parent to my children. Then I must be reminded about a Father's Day.
I see.
No. I take responsibility as a man. That I have to look after my family as a man.
I see.
I don't be reminded by the United Nations that there is a Father's Day, there is a Mother's Day to look after my mother, then there must be a mother. This applies to Europe.
I see.
That people are reminded, not we. We Africans. Why?
We have a culture.
Singa mama wo baba parents bo bafa nga tubalabiridde. You are cursed.
I see.
So I don't need any foreign intervention. Yes.
Okay. Wetcho betutambudde. Mutabani wa Mole n'amatovu mirundi.
Naye mugule buli omwaka fune mufune obuntu buno abakyala batambule nabwo mu nsawo, bw'osoma amawulire kolaki, bw'obala ssente nzisibira na ssente enkadde, kuba abakyayina bakola ssente empya nako katambulirako, ku ssente katambulirako. Bw'obala ssente empya bw'osoma amawulire sanitizinga. Omupoliisi bw'omala okusoma ebiwandiiko ebiri mu mmotoka sanitize. Kakati abapoliisi balina ekitabo kyekimu, balina peeni egi. Kakati eno teri muntu mu Uganda atalina underwear, teri muntu mu Uganda atalina nika. Let us, as we put on underwears, where people cannot see the underwears, because the suit everybody, I can put on a suit to impress.
Yes.
But underwears, I'm not doing it now for showing. Abaganda baga nti n'omuzungu yakiraba n'akikolera empale. This, we must have this in large numbers. But it's civil servants, like soldiers, like the police, like those police officers who deal with the documents.
Crowds and documents.
Crowds. Because I've told you that I strongly believe there are people who were injected with this virus, but who spreads it when it cannot affect them. Era bw'obatunuulira ennyo, what the president says of this person, oyinza okutunuulira mu kitundu nga oba ab'omwaka baafudde bonna, ab'omwamwaki kyebala nga mbagamba nti mukyuse style, kubanga missionary style mwetunuulira. You have to look into each other face for a long time. Choose the style, kubanga mukamwa munyindo mubwesiga. Yes, oba muteekako nga muzannya akazannyo omanya abanyakole bo bakikola bulungi kusambana. Kakati bwe muba musambana buli omu ateekeko masiki
obulwadde buleme kusaasa,
ono aleme kubujja ku munne abuteeke mu ono. Kuba kakati osanga ffe tutambula. I can acquire it when my wives are seated at home. Yes. Don't allow visitors into your homes. But Africans, because they rely, they are at the tribal level. They cannot chase away somebody. Mourners, where do you, when you are mourning, bonna ne badduka, omuntu afudde bonna kikumi. We must change our style of living fundamentally. This is why the Chinese, because they have discipline, the Europeans are confused. Nti osanga bus nga olupiira balukutte bwe bati, osanga gundi train nga mulimu abayimiridde, kyobula bakaba bagoya nnyo.
Kituufu.
Yes.
Nga bangi mu train baagala nnyo public.
Kakati mwe mutya kukwata mu ngalo nsizitya. Kati oyinza okuba nga otudde ku ntebe oli yagituddeko dda, naawe n'otuulako. Sometimes the chair by yours.
Have yours.
Have yours. Bwe kaggwamu gula akalala. Like smoking a cigarette. Yes.
Mpulira. Okay. Bwetyo bwetutambudde mutabani wa Mbole n'amatovu mirundi bwatubuulidde. So you better sanitize, ate tambula ne kakova niruko buli ssaawa yonna obeere nako.
Batukolere buno.
Oba okutambula nabwo
ne bwe bambaga mubadde mugenda ku mbaga nga mugamba mbu babageme. Waliwo abawala mbu babagema. Kakati buli muntu agenda ku mbaga ya 20 people.
Mu mikolo
buli omu kamuwe 20 people buli omu kagule. Kabeera night mu the wedding ne mu church mukabawe. Kubanga entebe za church mu kitegeere waliwo abazituddeko edda mwate mujja ne mutuulako. Kakati ne mu church mwennyini gw'osipuliti obeera buli kaseera okola ki? Weesiiga mu church. Entebe bazituddeko dda kuba weddings are there, also there are 20 people. Oba kaasigalako bannasayansi baali babuulidde how long does it take this virus to remain on timber, on metal and ki. Ebyo bye twalisubidde mu ba experts ba musenero abali mu kuba sente. Alo expose musenero to the bone marrow. Zino musenero tajja kulya ku kikumi, tajja kukirya nja mukuba muwabye.
But this don't run. Do not look at this as a joke away situation. Because looking at all the factors, as the Honorable sent me here to do, some things just appear to be a bit funny. But I'm very sorry. We have to handle them in the best way that is possible. Look, I have come with a team of two, made of Patrick and Sherifa. Now these two people, they are IT gurus. They are trained in Canada. They have been trained in Germany to handle complex situations the one we are faced with. First, look, the first challenge we have is that your phone is being hacked. And Mr. Tamale and whoever he works with, they are busy into that phone. Whatever you do, whatever you go, wherever you go, whoever you talk to, they get a grasp of it. And that is why the Honorable cannot be in position to meet you or even to give you a call, because I know he has told me you've been trying to call him. But he has avoided you as much as you can because he knows everything you do is recorded. And you will not believe it. So these people are here. And that is the request I told you at the opening of the meeting, that you need, we need the $20,000 US for these people to make a setup that can counter what Mr. Tamale is trying to do. If you see fit, of course, that is the best way to go. If you don't see it, then I think we don't have a direction. I have to assure you that we shall not be having a direction. There is no way the Honorable could be here, and neither shall there be a way until we have a secure communication network, until we have a secure and conducive meeting point where the Honorable can come and express himself very well without being disturbed by anyone or anything. So that is the challenge we are having for now. So, Mr. Nrana, I request that maybe you try to understand the situation that has landed on our face, that has surfaced, and it is something we can have to do jointly. If you choose to quit, of course, quitting is not a lasting solution. You cannot run away from the problem and you expect to solve it by running. Just know that something will come out to counter, and the entire situation will have us tossed. So, Mr. Nuran, I'm very sorry if you find it inconveniencing for you to understand that the Honorable was not here just for that reason.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry if you also don't understand me. Because the first year primary agreement with me was to have the minister come to my place, not you to come to my place. And on top of that, you've come with another two people whom I don't know. You have introduced them to me as IT experts. Yes, that is very good. Where do they work? Do you trust them? Could they be the same people who are into my phone and selling the information to Tamale? Is it a racket and they're conspiring against me to rob my money and then kick me out of the country?
No, but Honorable, if you think that way, that is not good. Mr. Nuran, if you think that for the Honorable, that is not good at all. I have to assure you, it is not good at all. These people work in very credible institutions of the government, very credible institutions, and they were vetted very well. Actually, the minister himself employed them there, because you must be understanding the nature of the minister I'm talking about, because you know him, you know his expertise, you know the departments he heads, you know the investments he's making. You see the power he has expressed, the network you now have. So, you shouldn't be questioning that, Mr. Noran. I'm very sorry. But that is the fact. That is the truth we have to go with.
But now, mister, I want you to understand me. When you tell me that my phone has been hacked, this phone has just arrived on the market a few months back. It is iPhone Max. Where the hell can an African get technology to get into my phone as soon as possible?
But sir, you cannot argue. There is no one who has monopoly to technology. Neither does it have a limit. You think Tamale Mirundi is so ordinary? No, he's extraordinary. He cannot achieve that. Now, Patrick, is this what you told me to let him do? Take a look. Yes. Now, Mr. Nuran, what you do, can you type on your phone #21#? You can see it. You can see it yourself. You can see it yourself. See, diverts cannot be deactivated. You know what that implies? That simply implies that somebody is in your phone. Everything you do is diverted somewhere. And the phone itself cannot cancel that, because if you press #21#, it automatically erases any diverts. But this one cannot do that. That simply means your handset is fully hijacked.
Are you just scaring me? Isn't that an indicator that the business is dead? So Tamale Mirundi knows everything about me, everything about us, everything we do, everything we plan, everything we have done. Even my private communication, he must be having it. No. No.
But of course, when you look at your phone, you can also see it by yourself. So, are you scared? To me, I don't think you need to be scared. You don't have to be scared, because the team here can have that mess cleaned up completely. No need to freak out. Just prepare. They work on it. Your package is ready for export. And I'm very certain in 2 weeks, you'll be having a lot of money, because the package is ready for export. And it is in bulk. We shall have the money, and the surplus shall come down all the waves. There's nothing unusual. Tamale Mirundi is not special a case either. He can be sorted out. He can be sorted out.
No, but now, how about if you bring Mr. Tamale Merundi and I talk to him? You're asking for the 20K for these people. Why not also ask for 50,000 to bring Tamale here so that we can talk? Yeah? Because his motor mouth is the one which is causing problems. Yeah? Forget about what you're saying. His motor mouth is the one that is bringing the problem. If you can neutralize that, can the technology stop his mouth from talking? That is what I want to know. Are you going to chase him from the radio? Are you going to chase him from the YouTube? Are you going to chase him from everywhere? Are you telling me these IT boys and girls, are they going to erase all that has been published on the air? Is that what you're trying to mean? Just bring to me Tamale Merundi and I talk to him. I give him money. Yeah? Just bring Tamale Merundi here and I give him money. Instead of wasting a lot of time bringing IT who cannot withdraw what is already out. Isn't that my problem?
But look, that is not your problem. I understand. It is not a problem. But now, what is at hand? The package is ready for delivery, and we cannot communicate. You also need to talk to the Honorable, but you cannot find the Honorable if there is no safety anywhere. That is primarily what we are looking at, the safety. And as well, you have to get rid of that phone and get another one for the safety of everything. You suggest that maybe by bringing the Tamale on board makes any difference, but the information is already out there. The Honorable has alternatives. Though the first alternative and application right now is these two people to use soft power. But he has an option of using hard power as well. But let's go for soft power first. So may you kindly aid the two people to start their work immediately. By Saturday, they'll have delivered the results. Then possibly on Sunday, instead of you quitting the country, the Honorable will be with you. How about that?
Okay. Now, that wouldn't be a bad idea, but again, I'm not also sure if it will work perfectly. Because how sure are you they have the expertise to do the work the way they're supposed to do it? And we have the positive results. My worry is losing business, having spent a lot of money. And I want to make this very clear to the Honorable when you go back to him. The minister should know his $500,000 in it will only be applicable and delivered to him only if I'm very safe. If Tamale is no longer mentioning my business anywhere, when he can also assure me that he can come to my place safely and I can go to his place safely and nobody's hiding from the other.